with a little help from my friend, I got this nice book, in fact, excellent book, called English, America and England, People and Language. This is an attempt to cover the history of the English-speaking world, i.e. the language and culture of two most famous superpowers of the 20th and 21st centuries, and evaluate their impact, glory and tribulations. This is a rather optimistic aim to try and summarize the long Anglo-Saxon history from the Stonehenge era to Donald Trump's Proud Boys storming of the Capitol. Many centuries indeed. This is what concerns the people of these great nations. As far as their language is concerned, the English, it is a great language with a long history, Old, Middle and Modern English. It is the language of Shakespeare. Okay, let's try some pages to show the importance of this book very objectively. First of all, it divides into two parts, one about the language and one about the history of the people who speak that language. If we go very quickly through a few pages, for instance, on page 7, we find something interesting. The linguists have established that there are thousands of languages spoken all over the world. And those thousands of languages of the world can be grouped into families, the most famous of which are Germanic, to which English and German belong, Celtic, Romance, Slavic, Baltic, Indic, Hittite, Finno-Ugric, Hamito-Semitic, and Semitic, the best studied. On page 8, the structure of this language consists of vowels and consonants like any other language, but in English I am suggesting something very interesting, which I call the seven key words of English. That is, with these 7 keywords you can open the 70,000 words of English, pronouncing them properly, no problems. So vowels and consonants. Now on page 11, English is not one language. In fact, it has got many varieties, dialects, registers and pronunciations. English RP, that is received pronunciation, is the standard pronunciation of English. It is primarily spoken in London, in the southwest of England. It is the most famous form of English. Naturally, other pronunciations are found in America and Britain. In England alone, there are many varieties such as Tyneside, Cockney, Birmingham, etc. They are monnaie courante, i.e. widespread. You find examples of non-RP speakers who pronounce words such as money, love, honey, monkey with O vowel as they are spelled. So they would say money, loof, honey, etc. Now, the main clear-cut difference is found between received pronunciation, RP, and GA. What does GA mean? It means General American. They say things like, I wanna win, I'm not gonna go, etc. Now, on page 11, yes, where is page 11? Rather page... Okay, in American English you would hear things like no news, good news. For no news, good news. You also remember the story of Bloomfield's comedy theater, for comedy theater. Now, on page 18, move to the structure of the English language with its special morphology, that is word structure, as you would find in words like joyful. Joy is a noun and joyful is an adjective. And the syntax, you could check Mr. Griffith's article about English syntax with the structure and the trees as in this page. Now, on page 31, you have some interesting quotations of English, such as, "In God we trust." This is the American pronunciation for "in God we trust." You also find, "Honor thy father and thy mother, so that your life may prosper." This is in the Bible, King James Version. Okay, Shakespeare also said, "When the mind is free, the body is delicate." Well, so much for the first part. If we move to the history of the people who speak this language, well, in England, you have to speak about the past with the Celts, who had the Stonehenge as a place of worship, probably. And then England was invaded by different peoples, the Romans, the Vikings, etc. And then they came to invade other parts of the world, especially in the time of Queen Victoria, on whose empire the sun never set. It starts in Hong Kong, goes through India, Iraq, Egypt, Gibraltar, and ends up in British Columbia in Canada. They have also their system: politics, education, religion, free time, and Irish conflict. Now in America, you have at least three races: the so-called Reds, the Blacks, and the Whites. Well, from the Reds, or better called Native Americans, I have chosen Geronimo, 1829-1909, and all the sufferings he had gone through. The white Anglo-Saxon Protestant, WASP, and I've chosen the Pilgrim Fathers, 1620, who left England for religious persecutions, went to Leiden, Holland, and ended up taking the Mayflower boat to New England. And finally, the Afro-Americans with Malcolm X, 1925-1965, and with conclusion, Timeline of America, glossary, and biography. I think it's a very interesting book, and I thank my friend Antti. Thank you so much for offering me this beautiful book. Thanks.